Jason effing Statham.
Action.
Hi and welcome to the Ruby Tuesday. My name is Ruben and this is my review for Netflix's original series, Sneakerheads. Devon, a former sneakerhead turned stay-at-home dad, finds himself deep in the hole after falling for one of his old friends Bobby's crazy schemes. To get his money back, the at odd ends duo goes on the hunt for the most elusive kicks in the game. These are the only pairs of kicks I guess you could call half decent, and even then I'm sure sneakerheads or collectors will go, how come you've not looked after your shoes that well? But I did used to have a friend back in the day in London who used to be a massive collector, so I get the feeling. This series is basically, the question is, what is your porn? What are you very addicted to that you have to watch, that you have to collect? What is your collectible that you just must have? And there are those in our world that collect sneakers. There's a whole world if you duck under the surface of just your ordinary buying your kind of shoes to go in and out. If you get there for the sneaker world, you will find that there's something quite interesting beneath. And that's what I like about this show. It really kind of gives you a glimpse as to what could possibly the world be, and to diving into that world of the collectible sneakers and how you go about getting those elusive pair that you've always wanted, that one that everybody wants. How do you get that? It's schemes upon schemes. It's investigating. You go down a rabbit hole to rabbit hole, and sometimes it doesn't work out and sometimes it does. And so we have a guy here, our protagonist, who has been out of the game for a long time. He's a dad. He can't really afford to spend that amount of money on cakes anymore, until one of those friends that you shouldn't spend too much time with, but actually if you think about it, is the guy that you will have the most fun stories. When you're at parties and you're talking about the times that you got up to the most nonsense, it's that friend that probably dragged you into those stories. And so, as you can imagine, these two coming together again, one thing leads to another, into a circumstance that he can't actually get out of, and before his wife finds out, he needs to sort out the finance issue that he finds himself in. And so one rabbit hole leads to another. What I loved about this series is that the dialogue is pretty funny. The jokes are well placed. The timing of them, the scripting, the dialogue, all of the actors bring their A game when it comes to delivering the dialogue they've been given. It's a fun, quirky, quite endearing in places, and has a couple of emotional beats. I would say that the episodes are the right length as well. They're only half an hour long. There's only 6 episodes, and it leaves you wanting more. I was very surprised by how much I liked this series. When I first watched the trailer, I thought this is probably not going to be for me. And I imagine a lot of people will look at this and go, yeah, I mean, this is a whole series just about people who like trainers, right? Like sneakers. How can you be into that? This is probably going to be very boring. It's anything but. Occasionally Netflix do this with really original, interesting ideas that you think might not actually be that entertaining, but are. Prime example is a series that we had last year called Bruno, or It's Bruno, about a guy that has a little dog and his obsession with this dog and the community he meets around him within that, about their obsession with their dogs. And so here we have that same kind of premise, but it is all down to sneakers and the collectible world inside that. And it's very interesting as you peek under the hood of this world. You meet very interesting characters. Quite near the beginning of the series, there's this group that's formed of interesting, quirky people that all have a love of collecting these elite trainers. And so sneakers, kicks, whatever you want to call them, these elite shoes that are very hard to come by. And I like each of them. They're developed enough for you to guess what who they are, what makes them tick, more than just their love for sneakers. There is an emotional moment with a side group of characters, something that actually represents the sneakers again, the history of why they like that, and I thought that was quite good. And then when we wrap up to come to that full fruition, when we've gone on this adventurous hunt for this elusive pair, the sneakers, when they eventually come to a fruition of the story, I thought it was quite good. It does leave you kind of going, oh, are we going to get more of this? Because it does feel like the story is somewhat complete. They could just leave it and we could never there's no need to really do a second season. Although I feel like they're setting it up for a whole world of shenanigans that may end up being this. Jay Longino is the creator. He wrote, he's the writer for Uncle Dave, and Skip Trace, and those aren't particularly brilliant in my book. So I was a little bit worried about the whole creative purpose of this. Was it going to be any good? I was surprised. It's much better than I thought. I laughed a lot more than I expected I would be, and I was invested much more with these characters than I expected to be. So we have four main characters: Bobby, Nori, Stewie, and Devin. And I really liked Matthew Joss, who plays Stewie. He is almost the fish out of water in this group, but he really wants to belong to this group. And seeing that dynamic played off of each other, seeing how he slowly kind of wins his way into the group, was a lot of fun, because you have these quirky individuals, but the three are definitely more close with each other. That probably to do. Yeah, so Stewie is this kind of fish out of water, and I really liked his character. Each brings something of their own individual characteristics that are a lot of fun to watch. I definitely say put this on your watch list. I'm surprised how much I liked it. I got through it really quickly. You will too. There's only 6 episodes. They're only half an hour long each, so do give it a try. Don't forget, we on Fridays and over the weekends we have so much original content coming out. Definitely from the streamers as well. So Netflix, HBO, Disney, all of that kind of content. We've got loads coming out this week, so do check out those as well. Thanks so much for watching this review. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up and comment. But most of all, until next time, remember, live long and Tuesday.